Hi, having a great day. You're watching JG Entertainment, and for this video, I'll be talking about whether there will be an Encanto 2. It is a question mark, but I'm going to be analyzing the box office, the viewership, the story perspective, and what creators and people involved with the movie have said about the movie to tell you whether there will be an Encanto 2 or what's going to happen, as well as maybe possible Disney Plus series that even the creators themselves have talked about, just like you saw in the title, Dolores Disney Plus show, possibly. I will be talking about that in this video, so definitely there's a lot of stuff to cover in this video for the Encanto franchise to continue, possibly. So yeah, I'm going to definitely give you the full breakdown, so watch the whole video if you really want the full info on how the Encanto franchise will continue, or the Encanto story. I definitely think you'll find it very informative. But before I get started, just make sure to like, it would be very helpful. As well as subscribe for a lot of other content. I already have so much Encanto videos, so check it out, just so you can check them out in my channel. And lastly, make sure to comment below whether you will want an Encanto 2, or perhaps a Disney Plus show, or a spin-off series for a certain character. I'm definitely curious, so tell me that down in the comments. Okay, now let's get started. Well, let's start with the big question, and that is going to be, will there be an Encanto 2? Well, first of all, did the Encanto 1 have a success? That's the first question that we had to ask, so let's look at the box office to start things off. And the box office that this movie got was of $207.7 million worldwide, making it the second biggest animated movie of the pandemic, only behind recently released Sing 2, which is really good for this movie. So that's a good sign to start things off. The fact that it's the second biggest movie in the pandemic is a good sign. That's really good money. Nowhere near compared to like usual Disney movies monies, but that's obviously because we're in a pandemic and a lot of overseas markets are closing right now, so it wouldn't really be a fair comparison. So it's kind of like mixed on what would be a hit or not a hit, but for now we're gonna call this as a hit, or at least like medium hit, not a flop. Okay, now let's move on to its Disney Plus viewership, because the movie was available from on theaters 3 days after it was available on Disney Plus. So let's move on to Disney Plus viewership. And in Disney Plus, it had a debut of 200 million US households that watched it in its first 3-day weekend, which was on Christmas Day. And Christmas Day, that's when it debuted, making it the third biggest debut on Disney Plus, just behind Loki and Soul. So that's really incredible for this movie. It had such a strong debut. It even beat Shang-Chi's debut on Disney Plus, so that's really incredible. This movie really did incredible viewership in Disney Plus. It even beat Luca, which didn't have theaters or anything. So that's really cool for this movie. Amazing viewership on Disney Plus. Now, taking into consideration that the box office was great, the viewership is great, and even the songs were doing really incredible on like platforms for music, this movie definitely should be considered a hit. Not like a massive, super big hit, but a hit. I think it is really a hit. So what did Encanto 2 with the success of Encanto? Well, this is what co-director of Encanto, Jared Bush, mentioned about the Encanto 2. Whenever he was asked about it, he mentioned that he would love for the series to continue on a Disney Plus show, which is really interesting. He really wants to do a Disney Plus show instead of a sequel, which I didn't think that was going to be a thing, but that makes sense, because now then we can dive deeper into each character and truly explore them a lot more. Whereas in the movie, we kind of just got to see them for like very little time, for very limited screen time. Here we can focus on them a lot more. From that same interview, the director of the movie also mentioned that Lin-Manuel Miranda, which is the composer of the movie, commented to him that he wanted to do something specifically about the character Dolores, which I know many of you loved by my Encanto characters rank video, which you can check it out right here in the corner. But many of you in the comments told me that Dolores was your favorite character. So guess what? The composer agrees with you, and he really wants to do something with the character Dolores specifically. He's a director by himself, so he could technically really do this project by himself. And I think that this has a very high chance of happening, especially with the success that this movie has had. So, would there be an Encanto 2? Well, the answer to this right now is that I don't think that it's going to get a sequel. Technically, movie-wise, I don't think it's going to get a sequel, just because I just don't think it had enough box office money to like technically warrant a sequel. It's not doing Sing 2 numbers, and also because the creators themselves aren't really interested in doing a second movie, but instead they're interested in following and pursuing a Disney Plus original series, which I think is pretty cool. I would think that this is going to be the way that they will go. I do think that this franchise will continue, and I do think that there's going to be a Disney Plus Encanto show, just like there was for Moana, which got announced and will come out very soon, just like there is for Baymax, which will come out actually this summer, which is really close. And for a lot of other Disney movies, they're starting to make Disney Plus shows out of them. So Zootopia is going to have their own Disney Plus show, just because I think if that allows for a lot more world exploration, and I think this one especially allows a lot more for each characters to get explored a lot more. Maybe do one episode per character. I think that could be very interesting. So I definitely think they're gonna do a Disney Plus show instead, and I think we can finally really get to explore all of the characters' powers and really get to explore all the characters' personalities. I also think that Dolores might have her own spin-off series just because she has been super popular among fans, along with Bruno and Camilo. They're having the three most popular characters that I've seen in social media that have gotten the most traction. So I do think that those are possible characters that could get spin-offs, but I especially think that Dolores has a very high chance of getting a spin-off just because the composer is very, very excited and very much wants to do a project about Dolores, and I think like she has very high potential to carry her own story with her powers and everything. I think she really could carry a really strong story, so I definitely expect that maybe she could have her own spin-off, and if not, definitely expect her to maybe become the second main character, the second biggest main character, or if not the main character of the Encanto Disney Plus series. I think this could definitely be very much what's going to happen. Maybe they might do a story where like she hears everything and that's how the whole story unravels and everything. Who knows? But she's definitely going to be a very, very important, probably the biggest, most important character in the Encanto franchise going forward. So yeah, that's going to be my video about whether it be an Encanto 2, an Encanto Disney Plus series, or an Dolores spinoff. Clearly, there's a high chance for all of this, but especially for an Encanto Disney Plus show, which I think you should almost definitely guarantee, and possibly a Dolores spinoff. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's see if Disney announces anything about that. But yeah, that is going to be my video. Nothing's confirmed, just letting you know, nothing's confirmed. These are just according to everything that we've heard about this. I think that's what's going to happen. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video and you found it informative. And if you did, then please leave a like. It would be very, very helpful. So please leave a like. As well, subscribe for a lot of other content. You can also check out what I think is the true message behind Encanto. I think you should check it out. I definitely think you'll find it very interesting, especially if you really don't know exactly what the theme of Encanto is in the message. Check it out. I definitely think you'll enjoy that video. And also, leave a comment down below if you're excited for an Encanto Disney Plus series. Do you have any ideas for it? And do you want a Dolores spin-off show by themselves? Or is there any character that you want a spin-off show just for themselves? I'm definitely curious, so tell me that down in the comments. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. All of you have a great rest of your day. And this is J Entertainment out.